Okay, here we go. Last hour of the show on this rainy Tuesday, man. It's just kind of dreary and steadily coming down out there. Y'all be careful getting up and down the road tonight. We hadn't had rain in a while, so slow it down. Turn on your headlights. Watch out. It should pass right on through tonight with some colder air behind it. Not supercharged cold air like we had last weekend and the weekend before that, but just cooler than today. It was AJ. It was kind of like spring like, about maybe 11 o'clock. I mean, we started out right at freezing this morning, but it just felt good out there for just a minute.
Yeah, it did. I had originally on like this very long, car coat,
Mhm.
and I was like, hey, you know what? Let me change it up because we had like some guests here and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
let me,
what was going on? There's balloons all over the building and food. There
yeah,
were all kind of people in the parking lot. What
yeah,
happened today?
yeah. It's
Was I
digital
supposed to?
DNA, basically
What the hell
just
was that?
talking to clients that we have that sponsor the different variations of the shows here.
Was I supposed to
Cumulus
be
Media.
here?
No, 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 no. I mean, they didn't really like have us in there to present anything.
Oh, okay.
But we had to wear our picture
Like
outfits.
school pictures.
Yeah, yeah. We had to button up. We
Good.
actually looked like we had to look like we actually dress up nice.
Good thing I wasn't here. I look like I just got off the set of Swamp People right now. I would have blown the whole image, the whole corporate schmucky image or whatever.
But they would have been like, "Oh my God, that is Leland. Wow.
Like,
Can I talk to you real quick, man? I just want to ask you some questions."
yeah, I had no idea. I just came in. There's food all in the break room. There are
Mhm.
balloons all over the building. There's cars all in the parking lot. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Was there a threat in today? James got on a three-piece suit.
Mhm.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah,
I
that's
should read emails. I don't read I don't ever read the emails around.
You're not. Yeah, look, you're not the only one. Because look, there's other people that probably they don't like read emails,
Yeah.
or they glance at them. Because I'll send out emails like, hey, so and so is going to be off. This is what we're going to be doing. Blah blah blah. And then I also be like, hey, who's doing this? I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
really? What's the point of email?
I just had to in one of the breaks. I had to go clear my my email box because it cut me off. The corporate one.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't read enough, or I delete every single thing that comes through, and it was just slam full. So I had to go and trash some stuff.
Yeah, I probably need to do that too.
It was like, you no longer can send or receive emails. I was like, that's when I'll get like the termination notice. I'll have no idea and keep working. And one day I don't get a check. And I'm like, what happened?
You're going to be Milton over here.
I
So,
have no idea.
excuse me, I'm still just want to do my radio show. I just want to do my radio show.
I was supposed to receive a piece of cake. You remember that scene when he's, what's the last time I would receive a piece? Just past Milton. All right, y'all. We kind of eased into it this hour. EcoView Windows and Doors bringing you the show tonight. EcoView Windows and Doors, they can tighten you up at your situation at home, and they're happy to do it. Becky they've developed a really, really superior window and door company, and they do a lot of other products too. I talk mostly about the windows and doors, because that's the efficiency, but they do sunrooms and a lot of multiple things that they can do to add on to your home, make your home more beautiful, and um, they really do stand behind their products. Everything from the minute they show up to do the work, everybody's covered. Workman comp policies, long term glass break warranties, other the manufacturer's warranties on the product, their warranties on the installation, and then they've got this 35% guarantee that you can talk to them about how that works. But they say you can save 35% on your heating and cooling over the first 12 months of bills with EcoView by just doing this surround, getting your whole house wrapped in their product. You got to do all the windows though. You can't leave a leak. Let them come assess that for you, count the windows, do some measuring, give you a price, and you can quickly do the math on the savings and sense how there's a payback in it. For example, I'm trying to do some quick math in my head. My power bill is estimated this month. That we've been talking about this a little bit on the show tonight. If you haven't checked your bill, if you get those advanced draft notices of what's coming out when they measure it, and it'll probably be that way next month too. Mine was over $400, which may not sound like much to y'all, but that's 50% higher than it normally is. I've got two facilities. My barn has a separate meter. It was also about 50% higher. So if I do the math on that, that's $120, $130 energy savings when you take 35% of some of those totals. So look into it, and there may even be some tax implications In some cases, certain situations, you might qualify for some deductions or whatever else, or rebates, even in some cases, by doing this. In the old days, we called it weatherization. Now they called it energy efficient, something, something, something. So check into it with your tax advisor and get EcoView over to your house to give you a quote. They'll give you an honest quote and do some honest work and button your house up, and it'll be beautiful when they're done. EcoViewWindows.com. EcoViewWindows.com. Let's just hit some phone calls. We'll do a few calls this hour. Still chasing a bunch of headlines, developing stuff this afternoon. Diane is on a cell phone. What's up, Diane?
Hey, I was just going to comment on the thing you said about where people, like journalists, they say they can get away with something because they're a journalist,
Yep.
or they're not a journalist and they can get away with it. Well, I used to be a driver's license examiner, and people would come in and get their driver's license, and if they didn't have one and they were suspended, and they would make the statement, well, why am I suspended? I've never had a driver's license. I said, so it's okay for you to go out there and drive as fast as you want, run all the red lights, do whatever you want illegal. But me with a driver's license, I have to obey the law. No, it don't work that way. I said, everybody has to obey the law. That used to aggravate me so bad.
I guarantee it. But look, we've got this double standard. The American left believes in a double standard on all of this stuff as far as applying the law. They do not believe that laws should be applied equally. I can take you through the whole thing. We got red states that have voter ID, so they've got some integrity at the polls. These guys don't want to do it. All right, so that's unequal. That's unequal in a country. If one state can cheat us out of a president by dumping fake voters in, so they'll do that. And I mean, there's so many examples of the sanctuary city concept. I mean, you can't just declare yourself immune from federal laws, and if you don't want them enforced, they won't be enforced in your state because you're a quote sanctuary. And sanctuary is a nice word. They put a nice word on a dumb idea. They didn't call it sanctuary back in the 60s in Alabama, but they found out, nope, you can't violate people's civil rights just because you decide you're too remote or sovereign from federal law, and you don't have to abide by it. So
Right.
we keep going through these lessons in history. And I mean, I can keep going through so many examples. All the Hollywood elites that lecture us about global warming and then fly around in their planes or tell us that we're on stolen land and live in multi-million-dollar houses that they wouldn't give up. They're opposed to border security but have walls around their houses. I mean, you got to be a hypocrite to get in their club. And when it comes to journalists, and that's what brought all this stuff up, I can tell you, having worn those shoes and done that job, you cannot break the law in the course of doing your work. You have to stand back and cover events. You cannot participate. Don Lemon could no more have gotten into a van with a bunch of bank robbers knowing they were going to rob a bank, drove up to the bank and went into the bank with them, watched everything go down just because he's documenting, followed them out, then defend their activity all over the internet and claim he was just being a journalist. It's not much different.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. But I think it's kind of funny how they think just because they don't have something or they do have something, they can get away with something.
Yeah,
It don't work that way. If you do it wrong, and if somebody come in your house or did you wrong, you would be mad just like the person that you done them wrong. So I just disagree with a lot, but I like listening to you and LJ.
LJ. I'm going to start calling him LJ. He's on the phone.
Change
Thanks,
his
Diane.
name.
Thanks, Diane. All right, we appreciate you tonight. Yeah. Diane, cracked yourself up there. Yeah, look, I could keep going on about Don Lemon, but this is the most attention. His narcissistic personality, and I told you all the epic story of me chewing his ass about 30 years ago when he was a young reporter here in Birmingham. I told y'all I take credit. I'm the reason he hates Republicans. He's gotten more attention out of this. He's a martyr to people that need martyrs right now. There's some people that just need something to cling to in that fashion. And so to him, yeah, he's virtuous. But I'll tell you what, if a bunch of good old boys decide to kick up in a mosque and start trashing the place and interrupting their service, how do you think the Free Palestine people would feel? It's the same people. They had to take off their little Kafka things and put on no ice hats. It's the same people. They're just looking for the next cause. They're emotionally driven and they're wrapped in causes, and they feel like they're revolutionary. These idiots think they're doing a revolution. That weird beard guy that went in there with Don Lemon, he is crying all over the internet because he's facing 10 years in prison for what he did. And he was the most obnoxious of the whole group. What do he call himself? The woke farmer. Do you think this guy's ever farmed anything? AJ, you think he's ever like pulled a potato out of the ground? Is he actually a farmer? Or is he just idolized farming and decides he's going to be earthy?
I mean, he just probably just sounded good.
Weed? You got a weed farm? Is that what he farms?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I got a couple pots on the back porch with some weed in it. I'm a farmer. Real farmers are too close to the earth and nature to be given over to that kind of nonsense. They just are. They're the most centered people. People that really legitimately do this for a living and generations deep and have to work against the elements and the economy and time and nature itself and pray to God for rain are the most humble people walking the planet. They realize how small we are in the big picture and how hard it is just to do the basic things to feed us. And there's no way this guy's a farmer. Shane, what's up, buddy?
Guys, it's 49 degrees in the rain, and I would like to quote the great Democratic philosophers by saying, no one is above the law.
No one is above the law. That's what they tell Trump.
I wish I had a compilation of that we could just play.
Oh, it's probably out there somewhere.
No one is above the law.
Mm.
That's all I got. That made me chuckle.
They love to say that. Don't they love to say that until it's them? And then they're like, well, except for when we want to be a sanctuary city. Or if we don't want the border enforced. Or if some thug decides to rape somebody and show up at the jailhouse and the judge wants to keep him in on bond because he doesn't belong in society with the rest of us, well, then he should be let out on a no bond because the law should apply to him differently because of his background and his heritage and institutional something. And yeah. Oh, different laws for different people. Hell, I'd make the case that the progressive tax code is unequal treatment under the law. Why should my dollar be different than your dollar? Really? They use envy to say we should go after the billionaires. If everybody paid 10%, everybody paid 10%, whatever the percentage is. We all paid the same percentage. We'd all have the same skin in the game. It doesn't matter if you made $1,000 or $1 billion, man, they're taking 10% out of your hide. We'd all be in the same boat. We see them handing money over to people to send to other countries, all this fraud, waste, and abuse. We'd all have a stake in it. But here's the truth. More than half of the people in this country don't pay a damn dime in taxes. Nothing. So they don't have any stake in the taxation that does go on. They vote themselves money through the government. They vote to take money away from you you sucker. You went and worked all week, you and your spouse. One of y'all, the lower wage earner of the two of y'all, works exclusively for the government. You work until well past May, I don't know what the date is anymore, just to pay taxes, state, local, and federal taxes. Our taxes consume more of the average family household budget than food, shelter, and transportation and clothing combined. It's been that way for a long time. And then y'all heard the stuff I've talked about already on the show, the way influence is bought and sold and passed around. Yeah, equal treatment under the law would mean we all pay the same thing, same percentage. And then you don't disincentivize work and industriousness. You don't punish people for being successful and reward people for sitting on their ass and smoking weed all day or playing video games, whatever. Or what do kids do now? Get on TikTok all day. Get a job. David, what's up?
Hey, yeah, what the hell is up with the Irondale mayor not supporting ICE anymore?
You know, I never heard of this guy before. It just seems foolish. He's probably just, a Democrat, and that's their thing. They feel good about themselves by saying that. But I think he's going to get this is not Minnesota, and I think he's going to have people in his community. Now, Irondale's a nice place. It's a law-abiding area. They're always challenged. They're sitting in that trap between Mountain Brook and all that. And there's so much potential there, so much history there. And then you got – it was just, I don't know if he's an idiot, but that statement was idiotic. How about that?
Definitely. Thanks, man. See you.
Like, we don't want We don't want tension, and it divides our community. Hey, the law's the law, dude. If the federal government decides to run into Irondale and make a apprehension, they're gonna do it. You can you see the little mayor of Irondale out there telling them they can't do it? He wants to be Jacob Frey. Shut up. Get Find a way to get a mall built back out there. Do something. And by all means, protect the Irondale Cafe and the Whistle Stop where the fried green tomatoes are. It's my favorite place in Irondale. Don't let anything happen to that. Huey Tampon. Man, Tommy, they still got the deals over there. Until he reaches out to me, he hadn't reached out to me. He said when he runs out of this AR platform, these AR pistols, he's going to be done. When I'm done, I'm done. I said, all right, let's sell them. Here we go. AR, they're called ATIs. That's the brand. Go pick one up and hold it. You'll see how incredibly well built how well they're made. In that short format, they're called AR pistols. It's just a shorter format. $349.99 right now while they last at Huey Tampon. So if you're into tactical, you can pick up a few at that price. Then, of course, there's the hunting side. There's the scopes and the sound suppression, the pre-owned stuff, the personal carry stuff. I bought 2 personal carry weapons from him just in the last few months because the deals were that good. It just sometimes he comes across these deals, he brings them to town, puts them on the counters, and lets us know about it. And that's a good gun store if you ask me. Plus, when you get to know him, he's just a great guy. Adam, all those guys. It's just a nice little operation. Yeah, they started as a pawn shop, but they've become a full-fledged, nice gun shop. So put them on your list while you're comparison shopping and get over to Hueytown on Brook Lane Drive, Huey Tampon. It's 526. Lord have mercy. Great googly moogly. Southern Skies Dermatology. My dad used to say that all the time. I have no idea what that means. You have dad sayings, AJ? You know, we talked about this before.
Oh yeah.
Your dad would just say things. It's buried somewhere in the back of your head. Southern Skies Dermatology, ready to check you for any sign of skin cancer. Y'all, that's skin cancer is the real deal, and it can be deadly. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to actually, in some ways, give you a nudge that could save your life. Go get checked. We should all do that screening along with the other screenings. Well, I've said it over and over. Women, you get encouraged at a certain age to begin doing breast cancer screenings, doing those exams. Nobody loves doing it. Other exams that women have to do unique to women. We all are subject to colorectal from time to time. You need a colonoscopy. We know that. Then, of course, the prostate exams. Most men and some Democrat women are encouraged to get those prostate checks. And then, of course, skin cancer can affect all of us. I don't care your age or skin color, background. Those are factors, but all of us are in some way vulnerable. So get that cleared off your list. You get a baseline, and then, they'll tell you at Southern Skies how often you need to come back based on those markers or what they observe. And you may not need to come back for a while. Some of you need more regular attention with the trained eyes at Southern Skies. This is all they do is skin cancer. They find it, they remove it day in and day out. SouthernSkiesDermatology.com, SouthernSkiesDermatology.com. Have you heard the story about this new Chinese lab? We had that one out in California. I think it was San Jose, where some guy saw a garden hose going in a building that didn't look right, some city inspector. And then he found this crazy biological lab with all these pathogens, and these Chinese people that were running it just abandoned it. Y'all remember that story? And then it got kind of covered up, like nobody else talked about it. Well, it's happened again. There's been
Las Vegas, right?
This Vegas thing. There's been a big old federal raid of something called U.S. Biolabs. The Fed found all these pathogens and infectious agents in there, all kinds of nasty stuff, malaria. They had highly contagious stuff, poorly run, no safety conditions, a bunch of Chinese involved in it. And then and they got video of them in there working this time as opposed to just an abandoned building. What are they doing? We've got the weird fungus they tried to import into the country. I think they're up to something. They could do this crap over there. They got a big old country.
Well, it makes me think about the those seeds that were being sent to like random people.
The random seeds just being sent to people to plant. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're trying to biologically invade us.
I mean, you think about it, when you go to an airport, you go travel, they're only looking for specific things. So, but when it comes to biohazard stuff, I mean, like you can get that snuck in and then just start rebuilding that once you get to your destination. How are they going to find all that?
I'm expecting Trump any day now to just ban the Chinese from doing anything. I mean, just get out. Quit buying up land near military bases, running spy balloons over our heads. Danny Knowles is with the Knowles Group. Y'all reach out to him. If you don't have professional advice in your financial life, you need it. You just do. You can try to run on emotion or your uncle's stock tip, but that's not smart. And if you want to day trade with a little bit of your side money, that's fine. But for your long-term planning, when you're counting on it to have a real plan and a real date and a real future with it, you need a pro. Danny's a pro. He's a great guy. I grew up with him, so I've known him, and it's a personal reference. Y'all get together there and see if it's a fit. It's got to fit. If you don't like him, he gets it. Dude, just go find somebody to help you with your money. But I think these guys will be the ticket to get you on track, tell you the truth about what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, what you need to hear about your money. Sometimes you need that kind of cold, hard coaching. It's the KnowlesGroup.com. Listen to their show here on the station on Saturdays as well, Understanding Your Money. It is Danny Knowles and the Knowles Group, Knowles, the KnowlesGroup.com. Back after this. Man, y'all be careful out there. I was just checking the traffic maps for my ride home, and there's just jam ups all over the place. I'm sure it's weather related. Steady rain coming down tonight. Stockton Mortgage. Thomas isn't able to join us tonight, but I can just tell you these guys are ready to talk to you if you're kind of even remotely thinking about doing anything with your mortgage. You don't have to be ready to pull the trigger. Maybe you want to investigate, and it's they're good like that. Just call them, reach out to them. I'm going to give you a website set up just for this audience, and you can reach out to them and let them sort of what I call just back of the envelope with you. Think through what the possibilities are depending on what you want to do. Some people want to buy a new house. Some people just want to renovate. Some people want to cash out some of that equity you've built up and get rid of some bad debt. They can work with you on all those scenarios and talk about the various products. Some of you are veterans. You've got a whole different class of products that you have earned. It is not charity. It is your pay. It is your the way the country honors you to allow you to participate in these programs. First-time homeowners, there are incentives for you to get involved. So look at it and work with them at savewithstockton.com. There's somebody that'll probably answer you back even tonight or first thing in the morning. Savewithstockton.com. Man, this Savannah Guthrie story just took a weird turn. I'm a little hesitant to get too deep into this, but here's the latest. So just to backtrack, the local officials, the Pima County, who's investigating this, had a news conference today and couldn't offer much more. And you got a sense they're holding back, and there's a reason for that. Her description of what she's wearing. One of the reporters asked about that, the conditions of the house. How do they know there was foul play? You don't want that out because only Mrs. Guthrie and the killer would know that. So if you come across the real killer, for example, this TMZ story that TMZ got a ransom note forwarded to them that purported to describe the scene for some veracity, I guess, and then demand millions in Bitcoin or something like that in cryptocurrency be sent to a specific account. That may be a lead. We don't know. TMZ claims they turned that over to authorities. And then later they reported there's video, actually still shots from a video of blood drippings. They look like little blood drops on the way, I guess, out the door or around the front door, it looks like. More of what we suspected that the authorities have started confirming. And then there's NBC just reported that Savannah Guthrie will not be participating in the Winter Olympics. As you know, they've got the rights to the Olympics. They start in a short amount of time. They're centered out of Milan, Italy. Beautiful part of the world. I got to see some of that this summer. Great people over there. That should be a fantastic Olympics if you're into winter games and all that. But NBC, as you know, will put their whole team on the Winter Olympics, particularly the Today Show folks. Is she still on the Today Show? I don't even know. I haven't seen the Today Show in 10 years. So she is going to have to bow out of the coverage, and it makes sense. Her mom's missing. I don't think there's much mystery to that. She can't be prepared and go over and do that, being distracted with all this, and she needs to be home with her family. And you know they just probably fear the worst tonight, as it looks very, very grave and ominous for her mom. So there's that story. But then suddenly the internet's doing what the internet does. And they're saying there's suspicious activity surrounding Guthrie's husband tonight. He's a guy named Michael Feldman. Now, I guess this is what they're calling suspicious. And it could be the guy just wants privacy. But he runs some organization called Glover Park Group. And they're a partner in FSG Global, which is tied to some other firms that are directly named in the Epstein files. Now, this is extrapolation. And that he's real tight with Al Gore. They're involved in a lot of shady stuff. You know, leftists, they all hang out with each other. So I'm not even going to do guilt by association, but as people started looking at her husband and whatever his financial or business interests are, suddenly his websites and his internet presence just disappeared. So I guess somebody wiped all of his forward-facing stuff, and they put up evidence of, you know, that little 503 message you get when a website's been deleted or turned off temporarily or something. I don't know what to make of any of that, but it's got the conspiracy crowd wondering why is the whole Guthrie family seeming to go into lockdown mode. The suggestions, and again, this is not a report. I can't verify any of this stuff. The suggestions are that perhaps he was also in some kind of financial trouble. That doesn't mean he harmed his mother-in-law. It doesn't mean any of that. But
I mean, if he's in financial trouble, I'm just throwing this out there. If he's in financial trouble, shouldn't he already have access to the money? Couldn't he just like pull the money out?
no, if you're in financial trouble, you broke.
No. I'm talking about
Her money?
Her money. Because I don't know what their financial situation
Have you ever
is.
seen a TV show based on the movie Fargo?
I've seen the movie, but the TV show I have not
William
watched.
H. Macy is
Yeah.
in this thing, and it hit me that this is the plot from Fargo. At the beginning of and I didn't even finish it, but he's plotting to have his own wife kidnapped
Mm-hmm.
so that his father-in-law will pay the ransom and get him out of some pickle that he caused for himself with his like car dealership or whatever
Right.
he does. And so I'm sitting here thinking, how would that work? To your point, so Guthrie has access to money that's not his, I guess, just because you're married, or Guthrie's family. Mama goes missing. There's some kind of thing with Mama, and the ransom's paid, and he winds up. I mean, he knows the whole moving thing. He'd know everything about the house, the surveillance video that she lives alone, where her whereabouts, her patterns, because he's got inside knowledge. I'm not blaming the guy, but this is the plot from Fargo.
I mean, you also got to think about it too. You know, maybe, you know, if there was the video or just think about it, he comes over, she recognizes him, not seeing him as any threat.
I would imagine he'd put somebody up to it.
I mean, maybe.
Get one of Joe Biden's MS-13 guys that he let in and just say, hey, grab Mimo, hold her for 48 hours, and we need to do a little transaction of some crypto. That's the theory. That would be the operation theory. This guy's could be innocent as the day is long. He just happens to, they're here. Let me argue the other side. His family's now in the spotlight. Because of the internet, everybody's going to scrutinize everything about the whole family, him, his ties, his associates, Guthrie's side, his side. So he just goes dark to keep people out of his business, right? Just shut her down and go into private mode while your family deals with the grief of the mother-in-law missing, and your wife's got to be distraught, and everything seems to have gotten paralyzed in your life right now. You don't have time to deal with that stuff. So just turn it off. I understand the privacy angle of it. What do you think, AJ? Which side are you on?
Man, this is starting to turn into like one of those murder mystery.
I'm
movies.
Robert Stack. You remember those?
I do. Unsolved Mysteries.
I used to love Robert.
They used to freak me out.
Love some Robert Stack.
Because they never be able to like, well, this is a mystery that was still unsolved. I mean, you mean to tell me this person is still out there? Never
because they had a
5
tip line at the end. They do the unsolved mystery and then tip line.
Yeah, never let a 5-year-old watch that. I mean, I was freaked out. I did not want to go outside because I was like,
you and I should just start that franchise back and start hosting it.
I'm surprised no one's. I'm
There's a lot of
surprised
unsolved mysteries.
no one has thought of bringing that show back. No one has. All the remakes in Hollywood and all this other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
No one brought back Unsolved Mysteries.
There was cocaine found in the White House.
No
one seems to know how it got there.
I just want to have that film noir look. I want to, have the little smoky background with the trench coat.
With a jazz trumpet.
Yeah.
And you walk around in the alley in the smoke and stuff.
Yes, and
we can't be doing this together. That's too gay.
No. Like I'll walk, and and then you drive up in the car. Like,
oh yeah, get in. We have a case.
And I could open my file and say, today we talk about the cocaine in the White House.
Hey, that's our next Crocker Moving Services commercial. You know this, right?
Right.
We have to start rehearsing.
Who done moved the cocaine into the White House? The Crocker boys are on the mission.
They're moving a lot of weight in Washington. Allen and Company. See, they could be in on there could be a heist episode.
Yes.
We get them to be our experts to evaluate the stolen goods. Y'all, Allen and his family, they're just the most wonderful people. Y'all, I don't know no Vanessa Rojas. I'm getting another spam mail while I'm sitting here talking on the air. It's like, could be somebody, they're trying to offer me some more money at a 425. I want to yell at them. But if you answer the phone, they got you. Back to Allen and Company. Y'all, they've got the bling Here comes Valentine's Day. We are 11 days out, which means you got 10 days, which means you really only have about 8 days. You better get on it, fellas. They've got some beautiful stuff. And you don't have to be in the doghouse to go do this kind of stuff. Just buy her something pretty. Buy her something that's going to last, going to be around long after Valentine's Day or for whatever occasion. A lot of people start to get engaged. Alan once told me it's between now and around somewhere around the first of summer. Then there's another wave of engagement somewhere around Christmas time. Makes sense. Spring's the time when everything, there's newness in the world. Y'all, Allen and Company. Y'all go see them, get to know the Thompsons. They can make, design, or do anything you want. Allen and Company. Right back in a minute. All right, it's 5:49. Leland Live Talk 995. Let's go. Axiom Tax Resolution Group. As we are in another tax season, you can now officially start filing, and I'm gathering my stuff right now too. Some of you are dreading it because of the money, just because they're the bill. It's going to hit you between the eyes this year, and you don't even know what the total is, but you know it's going to be a lot. Y'all, reach out to Perry Cronin and let him help. Before you make a miscalculation or a mistake, let Perry and his team sort it out for you and assert the laws that would protect you and help you with anything in these matters. There are laws to help you settle. There are laws to keep or actually programs to help you settle, and laws to protect you from harassment by the agency. You don't want to have to put up with that, and it's just not right. It's hard enough to comply with that confusing code as it is. Don't be embarrassed. It happens to really good people that normally do everything right, but sometimes you just get pear-shaped with that bureau. Let Perry help. He's local and can meet with you face-to-face, and I think that's probably one of the best parts is it's just not just this referral-based stuff where you're dealing with somebody on the phone 1,000 miles away. It's Perry. He's right here. He's so local, his website is 205tax.com, 205tax.com. Axiom Tax Resolution Group. Again, the phone number, 872-1100, 205-872-1100. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything else because I had this big, long list today, and we got to most of it. I did the voter ID poll. We talked about the Iran drone. Oh, I didn't get too much into the Tonga tribe. It's only because I don't know much about Billie Eilish. What is it? I don't care. What
Billie
is she
Eilish,
sing?
yeah.
Is she good? Is she a talented person? I don't know.
I mean, she had a couple of hits.
She seemed
I
like
don't know. I
emo.
never listened to her music, but yeah, it seems like she got a couple of hits.
Well, either way, she got a multi-million-dollar house out in L.A., and now the Tonga tribe says, hey, that's our land. After she made her little speech about stolen land. So they're like, well, if it was stolen by them, then you don't have a right to it. We want our house. And no comment, of course. Again, double standard. We talked about that earlier. I think my favorite story outside of some of these others is this Doritos. This is made for the morning show, and I hope Richard and Val see this for in the morning. But Doritos has decided to reinvigorate interest in their brand by cutting prices 15%. Now, I don't even know because I can't eat that junk anymore. I try to stay away from processed food, and I know they're good. I'll get to eat in a bag. I can eat a whole bag at one sitting. I can do it. But I do my best to avoid them, but I think every now and then I see them in the house. They're in the house. But what does a bag of Doritos cost? You know, AJ? What like $4
Depends
now?
on the size of the bag you're talking about. I think roughly about $3.29.
Like a normal, not a family size, but like a normal. So around $3-4.
Yeah.
So they're talking about knocking 15% off the price of their product. Now I don't know what the stores will do and to pass that on or how that's enforced. You know, every store's going to have a different.
I mean, they
price
always
on it.
have deals anyway too. So
I still will tear up a bag of Cool Ranch. I will eat those till I stink.
Now they have those other. I guess it's like the naked Doritos.
It just ain't got no dust on them.
They have the dust on them, but it's like supposed to be like all natural stuff. It's
No,
not
really?
not the chemical.
Like cricket parts and stuff. What are they putting on them there? I don't know what they're doing.
No, I mean it's actually
Don't
pretty
trust
good. We tried some on Breaking Bread, and it was surprisingly really good. You know, it's not like that you know when you try some of the healthy foods and it's like, oh God, it tastes like chalk. You know.
Oh
so,
yeah. It just has no flavor.
It has no flavor.
I honestly don't feel like I'm eating well, like I'm eating healthy if I can taste it. Like if it tastes bad, I'm like, oh, this is healthy.
Oh, this is good.
Lose weight on this. Whoa.
Yeah, because you're getting sick.
Yeah. Hey, one more time for Alabama Bass real quick. If y'all need to do a bathtub replacement, whether you want to go tub to tub, you just need a fresh tub. Every now and then a good fresh tub is nice. Or if you want to get rid of that tub and do a floor to ceiling system, they put in incredible systems. These are beautiful, well built, safe. They beat their competitors on quality, price, turnaround. They honor what they quote you to. It's not one. Man, I've heard some of the worst stories about that business of people that get in this business and try to pressure. They'll go into an older person's home and try to give them this deal where they're like, you got an hour, take it or leave it, or we're going to walk out the door and you don't get this price again. They're not going to do that. They're our neighbors. They've been here doing this stuff for 40 years. They'll give you a nice quote and be there for you down the road. They're going to get the job done in 2 days, and you're going to be proud of it. You'll be showing it off to your friends and family. I mean, it's a conversation starter. You got company coming over. They sit down in the living room and you go, hey, you want to see my shower? It's alabamabaths.com, alabamabaths.com. Let's do some calls. Hot Rod is up next on a cell phone. What's up, Hot Rod?
Hey, Leland. Have you heard anything about the school kids in New Jersey that have been forced to read things from the Quran and take them home for study?
Vaguely, I've heard. It's almost like I don't want to believe that's true, but I've heard some surface stuff on it, but I haven't dug into it.
Yeah, if you don't mind, would you dig into that so we can kind of hear some of that tomorrow? Because as much as we've been told you can't have any religious instruction in school, then what are they doing now?
Yeah, I'll have to find out details before I can over comment on it. But yeah, we're about, I've said this over and over, we're about 10 or 15 years behind Europe, behind the United Kingdom and London, and they're in a full on conversion. What happens when there's a shift like that is a country will go from being a mostly Christian nation to it doesn't go immediately over to another religion, but it goes into an agnosticism. And that leaves a void, and Islam is very quick to move into that void. The agnosticism right now is this self-worship socialist ideology that the kids are embracing, and they're going to lose the core faith of their forefathers, and then next thing you know, they're wearing burqas and you're beating women in the streets about their hair length.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if the foundations have been destroyed, where are you going to build, right?
Yep. And by the way, thanks, Hot Rod. It's it's too late to get too deep into it, but this is much more than a religious conversation because with Islam, of course, it is a faith system, but beyond that, they have an education system, a legal code, a militant wing, a financial system. They have their own sort of Sharia banking system. It is it's as close to a government philosophy. It's even closer to that than it is just a faith system. Faith is a component, but it comes with these components and it demands submission and compliance. And that's the factor here, that it can cloak itself in religious freedom, yet institute itself on other people when it comes into communities and gets critical mass. That's happening in London already. Sheila is in Birmingham. What's up, Sheila?
Hey, yeah, I was just calling to comment about the price of the Doritos.
Yeah.
So my grandson loves them. I buy them, occasionally for him. And that party bag is almost $8.
Well, that's what Jessica just texted me. Everybody's correcting you, AJ, because you can tell.
I said the regular size bag.
Well,
I didn't say the
did.
party
Yeah,
size.
How big is the
The
party?
regular
How big is the
regular
party size?
size is like $5, and the party size is like, it doesn't look like it's just full of air. But yeah, well, and actually all the chips are really expensive. So
Yeah.
I was glad to see, them bring it down a little bit because gas is down. Bring those prices down.
I like some deflation, but astutely, AJ all suspected we'd get some shrinkflation, which is where they shrink the bag size and pretend like they're giving you a discount.
Right.
So y'all better watch the sizes on those bags.
So the 15% is just the bag because most of that's 15% air.
How much do they charge you for the air? Yeah.
Exactly.
How would we know with an air-filled bag if the bag's the same size? It says whatever ounces.
Mm-hmm.
That they're not just fewer chips. They're 15% fewer chips in that bag. You can't tell.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sheila.
Thank y'all. Love the show, guys.
Appreciate it. Yeah, Doritos. Look, it's still good news. Any of these manufacturers are seeing that if they want to incentivize people to buy their product, drop the price a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's some other companies I wish would go along with this. I mean, you don't want real deflation. Deflation is not good for any economy, right? And I've only got 3 minutes left, or we'd walk through a little exercise of why that is. But I don't know that Doritos is a barometer. I do know this about Doritos. They used to have some of the best Super Bowl commercials around. They had awesome Super Bowl.
Yeah, they did.
It was you could always count on them and Budweiser and sometimes Chevy. There were brands that just made memorable ads.
Mm-hmm. And now,
and that's this weekend, right?
that is this weekend. Oh yeah, it is this weekend.
By the way, I found out where you can watch the Turning Point show if you want to do the alternative halftime show. They're just going to do it on all their streaming platforms. So they're all over YouTube, apparently, and some of the other platforms. So they're going to put this Kid Rock with all these country stars patriotic performance on up against the Bad Rabbit.
Look, they better show out. We gonna see. I'm gonna try to see if I can flip through both and see. 'Cause I look forward to see what the listening audience will say between the two.
I'm gonna give them some clicks. Most likely I'll be asleep by halftime. Ox Foundation Solution, last sponsor. I appreciate y'all letting me catch up on the sponsors. We had a long break with Trump for a while. These folks can get it done for you. This rain's coming down. Rain, moving water, is one of the most powerful forces on earth, and it will break into your house. It will get under there and cause a void, and then you have a shift and a crack, and then it tries to get in through the crack. Then you got mold. Then you got other moisture and spores and allergens. Get that out of your house. Ox does all of these services. They'll level your house, fix the cracks, remove the water, get rid of the mold, do the encapsulation, which is really critical in a crawl space. You shouldn't have a house that's not protected by encapsulation. So let's get that done and do it with the pros at oxstrong.com, oxstrong.com. I'm about to hit the road. We'll see y'all tomorrow from the highway.
All right, man. Be safe out there. Take your time and enjoy your travels. Stay tuned for Breaking Bread coming up next. Goodbye, AJ.